Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm just explain about how we can create the OIC app-driven integration. So my previous video sessions, I have already explained about what is integration and what are the types of integration, and what is the most relevant integration and how we can create a connection and integration. What is the lookup? What is package, agent, adapter, libraries? All the fields I have already explained. So in this video, I'm just explain about how we can create an app-driven integration. A simple app-driven integration. First of all, this is the dashboard of an OIC. So first of all, go to an integrations, then click on the create button. So click once after clicking the create button, you can see that multiple integrations. Like first one is app-driven integration. So in this video, we can create one app-driven integration. Okay, select the app-driven integration, then click on select button. So you will get this kind of pop-up message: name, identifier, version, documentation URL. This is not a mandatory field. These star fields are mandatory one. So identifier and version are automatically generated, but you can change according to your requirement. If you wanted to create a copy of another version, so in that case you need to keep the same name, but we need to create a separate another version. So that is also possible. You can put another name, 1.1, 1.2, or 2.1, anything that is fine. So this is for the versions. Identifier is automatically reflected, but you can edit and you can change the identifier. That is also possible. And the keywords, what are the keywords you need to, that's for the searching from the after creating the integration. If you wanted to search in your dashboard, in that case you can use that keyword. And package, if you wanted to create a new package, direct put that name. What is the package name you are expecting, that you can directly put that name. Otherwise you are planning to use some existing packages, so these are the existing packages already there in the OIC instance. So you can use these any of the package. I have already explained about what is package and why we are using package. If you wanted to know more about package, you can just go through my previous videos. Description is just need to explain about what is this integration, and what you are expecting from this integration, and what is the process you are doing in this integration, that we can mention. It is just for the future reference. For example, if you created one of the integration, and someone or any person in the future may be referring to this integration and checking that what is happening this flow. So in that cases it is very useful. The purpose of this integration, you are describing about all the steps, that is it is beneficial, that's it. But in the integration creation and all other in the case of project, we already keeping some tdds and the documentations are already there. So actually this is just a one line description, that's it. So that is not a mandatory. So first of all, I'm just creating, adding one name. Okay, sample. Welcome underscore integration. Sorry, sample welcome integration. Okay, see, you can see that we can edit that one. Integrations, you can edit the identifier, but our identifier is a automatically reflect in capital letter. Version you can edit, that is also possible. If you want to keep the zero, that is also possible. And the documentation, that's just, these fields are not mandatory one. So package is also not a not mandatory. If you wanted to add in after this creating the integration, that is also possible. You can add that package inside the integration. We have an option. So these are the three mandatory fields. Then click on the create button. See, this is the integration flow diagram platform. This is the platform we are creating the integration. This is for just selecting the operation. It means you need to select the portions. Reposition means if you wanted to reposition, if you are putting some position, I will explain in the previous sessions. So what is the reposition and why we are using the layout. Layout means if you are creating an integration in a vertical manner, and we have two options, vertical and horizontal. See, click on this one, you can see that horizontal and vertical. So if you are planning to create in this format, that is also possible. And if you want to create in a horizontal format, that will also reflect. We can change that from the, this is not it is not affect the entire flow of an integration. This is just for the understanding the developer easiest way, like for a more understanding the checking the details. So this is the platform to moving the flow diagram. And reset means if you drag and drop something, and if it is in a not in a proper order, in that case you can put the reset option, and all the adapters are aligned in a proper way. So that is the use of reset. So this is a rust integration. So in this integration I'm just planning to trigger one data and displaying some response. That's it. Just an app driven integration. App driven integration means we need to trigger from any particular location. So that is the use of the app driven integration. We can put multiple places. That is also possible because it is not executed in a schedule manner. So so first of all, I'm drag and drop the rust adapter. So I have already created one rust adapter, sample sample rust endpoint. So click on the sample rust endpoint. First one is basic information. Just put the any name. For example, employee name. Just put employee name. Select the configure multiple record variable. This is not a mandatory, and description is also not a mandatory. Click on next. And what is operation to do? That is, these fields are not mandatory. We can put the operation name as default. That is also possible. Then just put it as endpoint. Endpoint, actually, if you wanted to access any external adapter or external API, in that case, you can put that API in this portion. Otherwise, if you wanted to add some in your API, in that case, you can put anything. Otherwise, just put a slash. I'm just putting EMB. The get operation, multiple operations are there: get, put, post, delete, patch. So in this case I'm using in a get operation. If you are putting in a get operation, you will get a, this is for the add the new parameter adding box is enabled. And also, and configure this endpoint to receive the response. That is also, that means the response payload response, uh, what is the response you are expecting, so that we can add using in a sample response. We can add, we have an option. So this is another option for get operation. If you put a post operation, see, you can see that configure request payload. If you are planning to put some payload in the request, so in that case, that post operation, in case that is enabled. But in this case we are using get operation, so that we are not in the get operation we are putting some input data, that's it. So just passing as a parameter. So that is the reason this one is disabled. So clicking on these two new parameter and click on next button, you can see that the default slash emb resource url http method. So I'm just planning to put one variable, means name. Okay. Type, any type you can put, that is fine. Most of the cases we are putting like just a string. Okay, click on next button. And schema, if you wanted to create a schema as xml schema, that we can just choose file operation to update that. Otherwise, if you want to put a better option, we can directly put, you can you in a json format. So in this case, just click on the inlines, you will get a plain text file format. So in that case, you can directly write the json sample file. I'm just put like a double quotes response. Okay, just putting one response, that's it. Click on OK. Okay, that is working. Then click on next button. Then done. So adapter is, rust adapter is created. Rust adapter is created, and the final mapping is also created. So just click on this mapping. You can see that the three options in this is for the more options. If you wanted to import something, delete operation, that is also possible. This is for the edit operation. This is just for viewing what is containing in that mapper. Just a view operation. So this is edit operation. If you are activated this integration and then go to this integration and check that in that time you can see only this view option. So in this case we have an options like edit. Click on the edit option, that is pencil symbol, and expand the response wrapper. See, response is all rare. That is the payload we are passed. So if you wanted to add any data, that you can put like this is for the our query parameter. This is the name variable that I have created as an input parameter. So I'm just planning to map this into this response. See, it's automatically mapped. So I have another plan, like I need to add something in before this name. So click on this XSLT. We have a developer option. Click on the developer option. See, you can see that the format, what is the inside the values. In a developing format that will display. Click on the XSLT. In the XSLT, you can click on in the right hand side. You have a toggled functions. Click on toggle function. You can see that multiple functions: advanced Boolean conversion, date, integration goal. Date means formatting. Current date. If you wanted to put some current date automatically generated. So that is the functions and operations. That means addition, multiplication, division, greater than, equal to, or and operations. That operators are there. Then XSLT functions. XSLT function means if for each choose, if you wanted to do something in the looping method in the mapper. This is an XSLT mapper. So in that mapper you can put directly drag and drop and you can use that one. So this is the operations. These are the multiple operations. So in this case I'm just using some one function that is called string function can cat. The concat function is there inside the string functions. So I'm just planning to drag and drop. So before drag and drop, just click on this settings button. Then I'm just deleting this. Okay. Then drag and drop. So first parameter position and the second parameter position. So I'm just planning to put like this. And before this parameter, I'm hard coding some data like hi. Just put one hi. Then after this name, put one comma, double quotes, one small space, then welcome to the world, world of integration. First of this is a concat operation. I'm adding three variables, means three data. Just first of all, hard coding hi and comma inside the double quotes, and I drag and drop the input parameter name, and after that comma inside the double quotes hard coded data, welcome to the world of integrations. Okay, so just click on this tick button. So it is mapped and the function is already function is created. Okay, once the function is created you will get a blue square bracket, means sorry, violet square bracket. So this is for the that one, and this is for the edit operation, and this is for the just select that text. If you wanted to put some select without using any codes, that case you can put this one. So this is for that. Okay, then click on the validate. Oh, mapping is successfully validated. Close this window. So save the entire integrations. See, you can see that one error is there. Click on that error, integration error. Okay, so why this integration error is happen means, if you activate the integration and trigger from your integration block, at that time system the integration cannot identify which integration is triggered. So that is the reason we need to pass some unique value. It's not a unique value. Otherwise, if you want to pass any input data, Unique is already created. The integration that containing one instance id, that is the unique number id. But instead of that unique id, you need to pass some input parameter. So click on this menu, the multiple line button, and click on the tracking. Inside the tracking, you can see that the parameter you have passed. So I'm just planning to put the name. Click on this name. If you wanted to directly drag and drop is possible. Otherwise, just click on this. Automatically place. You can put the three parameter. That is also possible, but one is mandatory. Okay. Then click on save button. So the error is gone. So now the integration is in perfect format. So click on save button. Close. So welcome. This is our integration sample. Welcome integrations. So you can see that edit operation. This is for the activate one. Otherwise, if you have a multiple operations like assert, delete, export, multiple operation. So in this case, I'm just activating my integrations. So in the case time of activating, I can see that enable trace and include payload. That means if we wanted to, once the integration is triggered from your system, if you wanted to check the parameter, the trace block that enabled the path. Why we are you enabling these checkboxes? For example, if you face some issue, adapter issue, connection issue, data issue, any issue that is happened, the integration is failed. So you can easily trace out which adapter is failed, which portion is getting an error, and what is the reason for an error. And if you wanted to check the input to payload, what are the parameters we have passed? So in that case, include payload tick box. So click on activate. So it is activating. I'm just refreshing. See, it's activated. So in the app driven integration, we have multiple options. Click on this one. You have how to run. These details are already there in this version. If you wanted to know more about how to run, you can click on this. Otherwise, this is for the track instance that is directly going to the monitoring page. Once integration is triggered, you can go to the track instance. Otherwise, you can directly check that in the text instance. Integration have its own texting environment. This is generation 3 integration are provided this kind of testing platform. The previous versions did not containing this platform. So in that case, we are trigger our app driven integration using some external applications like a postman, soap ua, something like that. So in that case, in previously we are using like click on this url. See, endpoint url is there. So you can copy this endpoint url and you place it into any api, any postman or any external application. So put some name and a trigger, you using some basic authentication, basic credentials you can use, and trigger the integration. You will get a detailed response. So now integration provide its own text instance, so that if you can directly click on text one, so that is going to the also method is automatically generated. Get to method name is already there. So this is the url parameter. If you are planning to pass some data like in this case you can pass the body, but in the this is a get operation. That is the reason we no need to go to the body. So like I'm planning to put my name Lipin and click on the text button. See, hi Lipin, the name that is reflected. Welcome to the world of integration. So this is the instance ID 80017 and trace created, and this is the payload. If you wanted to see the payload, you can go to the trace block. See, this is a just a mapping. If you want to click here, view activity tree, see, payload is already there. Request wrapper, passing leaping, get operations. See, these fields you can see that the final response is already there. See, hi, the request wrapper response tag. So in this way, you can see the monitoring reference. If you put some other names like so on text button, see, name is different name you are getting, and different instance id. Okay, 200. Okay, so this is the simple integration of an Oracle integration. If you wanted to monitor this one, like for example, go to click on the track instance, click on the track instance, see to trigger libin first name, then second one is jijo. If you wanted to payload directly from this one, yes, that is possible. Click on this button, see message mapping, you can expand, click on this one, you can see the payload. So this is the creating in a two separate instance study, 1000118, and this one is 8000017. Okay, so this is for the app driven integration. This is the tracking page, monitoring page. Once if you wanted to go to back to integration, click on this integration, click on this one. So integration is there, activation is there. So you can see that if the trace block is enabled or not. See, trace with payload is already there. So this is for all about app driven integration. Thank you for watching videos. If you wanted to learn more about an OIC, just subscribe and follow this channel.